Be our guest, be our guest. Yeah, okay, so at this point, Disney owned the rights to distributing Digimon in America. So, when that tribe of Candlemon shows up and the leader says, be our guest, I just, Disney. Oh. Okay, so I want to get the negatives out of the way this time really fast, because I really liked this episode. First of all, the new evolution sequences are not doing it for me, and I love the transformation sequences from the first 3 series. Like, I'm still not over how awesome they could be sometimes. Even when I was introducing my friend Cassie to it, we got to, like, the end of Adventure, and she said, I'm still not sick of these transformation sequences. And I said, I'm still not sick of them after all of these years. But the new one, they just, like, they're so stiff and static. It literally is just the kids, like, you know, in T-pose, and their armors being, like, snapped onto them. And you know, this is the weirdest thing, but it forcibly reminded me of these kids' these Burger King toys that I had as a kid. And they were, I don't know if anyone else will know what I'm talking about, but they were kids' club toys, and they had, like, a glow force. I had to look it up. That's what they were called, glow force. So it had the kid, and the kid's body was glow in the dark, and they came with these outfits, these, like, career outfits, like doctor and stuff, that you could, like, snap onto the kid, and then the body glowed in the dark, and, like, it was the weirdest thing. And, like, I remember I even lost, like, the snappable outfit, so for a while I just had, like, this glowing human that I was carrying around. But, and it's, like, it's so weird and random. It's just one of those things that you see and you just remember this part of your childhood that you forgot. That said, I did really like Kumamon's transformation sequence in this episode, because I felt like there was a little bit of personality at the end, a little bit of fun and spark, as opposed to just striking a pose at the end. So there's that. The other big thing that bothers me, and this is my problem, this is something that I have to get over. I'm not over the dub choices. I'm still having a hard time hearing Michael Rice's voice come out of Takuya's character. There was even a point in this episode where Takuya is off screen, and he says something, and I just remember, thinking, that's Matt. And I had to, no, it's not Matt. So far, it's becoming hard for me to get into this dub, but I'm just like, that's something that I'm gonna have to get over myself. And I guess along those same lines, it was this actually really did bother me about the episode, was they brought Wizardmon back, and they used him as an enemy, and that was hard to watch on its own. But, like, not even that. He's not even an important character. He's just, like, a monster of the week. And when they defeat him, they then load his data, and they use him to rebuild the bridge, so now his data is the bridge, and it's just like, okay, like, thanks, Toei. First you, like, traumatized kids everywhere by making us love Wizardmon and then killing him off, and then bringing his ghost back in 02, and now he's just a throwaway character. Just, like, it was really hard to watch. And, like, I don't agree with that decision. And maybe, you know, I guess on the one hand, they're not using him in exactly the same way that they used in Adventure. And there are just so many Digimon designs. But you know, why not use somebody else? Just anybody else. And I don't, cause like, there were characters that were reused in Tamers, specifically Leomon and Andromon came back and played really huge parts, and it didn't bother me because I was kind of able to see them as different iterations of the same character. They were used in a way that was very similar to the way they were used in Adventure, but I was kind of able to see them as like, oh, this is a different character. And I think part of the reason for that was they were introduced late in the game in Tamers, so the story had already been established, and then they just it was executed better. And I know I shouldn't get hung up on this because Wizardmon was just a throwaway throwaway character in this episode, but even that kind of bothers me. And speaking of Tamers, that was another thing. Like, I know they reused voices in Tamers, but it didn't bother me as much. It felt a lot more natural than the voices that are getting reused in this season. At the very least, it didn't stick out to me, because, you know, Kari, the voice of Kari, Laura Jill Miller voices Takato's teacher, but it's kind of a smaller part, and how appropriate that Kari would be voicing the teacher, and I can kind of just let it fade into the background. Moreover, all the voice casting choices seem to fit really well. Like, Derek Stephen Prince, of course, he can do whatever he wants, and Steve Bloom's Guilmon was amazing, and the kid, like, the reused characters felt like a part of the story, and the reused voices felt like a part of the story, and I'm having a hard time with both of those in Frontier, and maybe it's just because we haven't gotten much in the way of story yet. Because, okay, so my deal with the characters and the voices is, so Wizardmon pops out, and I'm like, no, they're gonna have to fight Wizardmon? And then the battle starts, and Wizardmon is being voiced by Joshua Seth. Ty is voicing Wizardmon, and I heard that and my jaw dropped. And for the rest of the fight, I was just going, it's Ty. It's Ty. It's Ty. Like, I can't not hear it. I can't... First of all, I couldn't divorce the image of the Wizardmon character from what I already knew about him in Adventure. One of the most memorable and painful experiences from Adventure, and now he's voiced by Ty, and it was so... So, okay, so we got Joshua Seth doing Wizardmon, and you got Michael Rice doing Takuya, and it was like listening to another fight between Ty and Matt.
Goodymon, don't you see? All these Wizardmon are me! We all look real because we are. Just try to run. You won't get far! This is just a game. Only one is real, and I'm gonna find it.
Don't be a wimp. We won't get anywhere if we just stand around talking.
Put your fist down when you talk to me and stop acting like you can just bully your way into being the leader.
Also in the dub, Wizardmon spoke entirely in rhyme, which just made it even harder to take the fight scene seriously. But all that aside, most of that is just, you know, my problem that I need to get over. I really, really liked this episode because for the first time we've gotten an evolution that is tied into emotion and character development. Oh, thank goodness. And it's Tommy, which I actually wasn't expecting. I was kind of thinking his story would be the most simple one, and I guess I'm approaching that because he's kind of the TK proxy, and TK's story was one of the simpler ones in Adventure, but so far he's the only character who hasn't just like found his spirit and just like merged with it with no kind of emotional revelation. I'm liking Tommy more and more. He's so far he's the only character that's had real emotional development and story, and it's a simple one, but still it's nice. I mean, it's kind of the obvious for a little kid. He's insecure about being the youngest one on the team. He feels useless. He wants to become stronger and be a valuable member of the team. But I mean, it may be simple, but it's not bad a story. And I really like the relationship that he has with Takuya. Obviously, it's like a big brother thing. He really looks up to Takuya and wants to be cool like him. But what really struck me about this episode was, okay, so Wizardmon shows up and Agumon starts fighting him and is having trouble. And Tommy, you know, he looks up to Takuya and wants to be a hero like him so much, but he actually goes and tries to help Takuya before he even finds his spirit. Like he dives into the battle and he's using his hat to like, it was pretty clever. He was using his hat to like throw water from the river onto the Candlemon to try and extinguish them. And the dialogue was something like, I won't just be a little kid in the way anymore. And I was, oh man, that's, you know, tugging on my heartstrings. And maybe this is a weird connection to make, but it reminded me of the scene in Madoka Magica near the beginning when Madoka disposes of the chemicals. When she's all alone and she's surrounded by people who are possessed by the witch, and She doesn't even have powers yet, but she's just doing her best to help in whatever way she can. And that kind of, it reminded me of what Tommy was doing here. He said he wanted to find a spirit so he could become a Digimon and be strong, but he proved that he could be strong without powers. And I thought that was very powerful. And it was him proving that he could be strong that called his spirit to him, as opposed to just finding out like the other two. So I really liked it. I really enjoyed this episode. So I'm hoping from here on out we're going to see all the evolutions now are going to be tied into emotion. Really much hoping for that. And I still don't know really where the story is going. There hasn't been much in the way of exposition, which is okay. I'm just sort of along for the ride at the moment. One other thing that kind of got to me a little bit was the way the Candlemon revealed in the end that they were just testing to see if the kids really were. And I don't know. I thought that trope kind of rubs me the wrong way, but it's okay. It's okay. It's totally fun, and it's a fun thing, and the show is very fun, and I'm enjoying it so far. So that's all I got for this episode. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Take care.